And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Army Cycling eRace Series Winter 25. I am your host once again, Ozzy, back for another exhilarating final to this, to this great series that we've had for the Winter 25 series. So so we had 6 races. We are now we've had 5 races, and we're now on the start line for race number 6, the mountain route, the one that's going to really test the leg. So we'll have a quick gander on what exactly the mountain route looks like. So mountain route itself, as you can see from my lovely graphics, is you start off in downtown Wotopia and you make your way up the mountain reverse climb. For some people, they've then got the fortunate task of going up to the radio tower KQOM. Some people, they'll get to just stop just short of that. And then for those that are really, really lucky, they then get to go down, which I mean, I think that will be a joy for some of them legs when they finish back where they started, essentially. So, a bit of a climbing course, but we always like to end these series on a climb. That is how the route's going to look like for today. We're going to have 5 categories, as always, that are going to be taking part in this race. So categories A and B, they will be doing the whole course. Category 2 category 3 or C, sure. So A and B all the way to the end. C to the radio tower, and then D and E will just do the reverse com itself. So that's how it's looking for this race. If you are watching in the chat, please say hello. Let me know you cheering on. Let me know if you're racing, what category you're in, how your legs are feeling, all that kind of good magic that we like to know as you're riding. Let's go infantry. Richard M, great to hear you, Rich. Hi M, hope you're doing well. So we are going to be focusing on the A and B category and the C category currently. However, again, like I try and do, depending on how we're looking for the race and how things are panning out, we may jump over and have a look at the D's and E's for this one as well. But we're going to predominantly stick with A, B's and the C's. I do believe, looking at the count timers that I've got on my screens and everything, it looks like it is going to be a mass start, which I know is a bit of a kicker for some people. I was hoping just to do have the categories all starting at their own times, but it is what it is. We will do what we can. But yeah, it's going to be a good race tonight, I think. I said very kind of different course that we've had for most of this series, but that's what we normally do. We have a few flat, a few punchy, and we normally do end with a bit of a kicker at the end, just to really kind of sign off the series. So I hope you all enjoy this. So we've got say Rich M then chat saying let's go infantry. Yeah, infantry are currently, I think they're 3rd in the series, but I know that they are good on the climbs. That should be, so it's definitely not out of their grasp to get on top spot. I mentioned there, actually I just said their course down is themselves. So quick rundown. Royal Signals are currently in the lead. AMS 2nd, Infantry 3rd, and then got REME, RLC, Royal Engineers, Royal Artillery, Royal Armoured Corps, and RCAM, and the PTIs in 10th, AGC 11th, INCOR in 12th, and the Army Air Corps in 13th. Kicker, you say? Yeah, I did, Carl. I said it was a kicker. It's a long kicker, shall we say? Let's call it a long kicker. I know I can say that sat here, just watching the show rather than taking part. I know. But yeah, 9 seconds to go. Then a few people are already dropping. Looks like ride-ons in the races and that. And this should be a good one. Hopefully, the stream will be able to hold itself together. It does look like at least. Just watching. Actually, looks like it's only a few of the categories that are starting right now, which is good. With Ross Gurney there. Get a nice little angle going on. Wonderful. And yeah, off we go. And I think they're independent. Okay, good. Okay, so there are riding their own event. So it looks like I've got the A's and B's in the top there, and then the C's in the other category, 26 and versus 19. Beautiful stuff. Never good when someone thinks like that. Hopefully that's nothing that's broken. When you think you get one problem fixed, another one just seems to kind of prevent itself. Don't we love IT? So yeah, yeah, off we go. Like I said, we're going to be pretty flat to start with as they lead their way into the KOM, start of the reverse KOM. There's no opportunity for sprint points today, so the sprint competition has already been decided. But the KQOM competition will still be up for grabs, as they've got two climbs for those that are been able to do the so everyone up to C category. You'll have two KQMs to compete with. That will be the reverse com and then the actual the tower radio tower com itself. So that's how things look like with the KQM competition. As we're just watching everyone kind of getting into the swing of things and getting their legs into shape. Let's have a quick rundown of the points category, shall we? Unfortunately, no graphics to show you, but go on, Dan. Woo woo. Mary Gibbons. Hi, Mary. Which Dan are we cheering for? I'll see if we can find Dan. So yeah, in the points category for ACAP, we've got Rob McGowan leading with Kev Fowler second and Mike Goff third. In the Bs, George Jones, Mike Latchin and Tim Robinson first, second and third. In category C, you've got Craig Scott, Ant Allnut and Steve Barnum in first, second and third. The Cap Ds, we've got Richard Parry, Jim Carlson and Carl Proctor, first, second and third respectively. And in E category, Craig Swan, Neil Herbert and Andrew Bolton. They're your first, seconds and thirds and across all them categories. The points competition itself, it runs off best free scores out of the 6 events. So yeah, and it also takes into account for the KQOM and the points. Dan Collins, I'll have a look for Dan for you if he's in the category. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, so it takes the best 3 of 6 points. So you can miss a few races out and still score well, but it also accounts for your takes for account your sprint and your KQOM points as well on that. So you may not have to win every race to get a chance to actually be on the top step for the actual overall series. There is a GC competition as well, a little bit more complicated. You don't have to race all 6. We have now changed things slightly, where you kind of get an average if you miss a race out, but predominantly those that race all 6 races do get a chance for the GC competition. That is basically the fastest time across all 6 races. And then you got mentioned earlier on the KQOM and the sprints competition as well separately. So yeah, as we're going through the water at the moment, we're going to be kicking up shortly. There is a little kicker coming up, which sometimes can cause a little bit of a break if people choose to do so. I'm not sure if people will decide to give it a shot this early on. Some people might want to save the legs. Other riders, on the other hand, may also decide actually it's good to try and put some damage into your competition to kind of give themselves the best opportunity. So we'll see what this comes up in a minute once we get to this kicking part coming up. Okay. There you go. There you go, mate. Oh, it's on. Yeah, it's on again, yeah. Oh. Sorry if you can hear my little in the background. He's just enjoying the show as well. You can indeed, yeah. They're in the water at the moment. There's Dan Collins there. Let's get the right one on. Boom, Dan Collins there. For you, Mary. Just come on, leading the charge, actually, at the front and centre. So like I said, we've got a small little kicker coming up. once we're through that, they'll then come up to the to kind of the lower sections before actually the main climb itself. Bill looks like he's trying to rally. Bill Cox looks like he's trying to rally the riders, especially the sprinters, to make a bit of a charge at the front. We've got Adam Adey there as well, kind of at the front, pushing on. I don't know, recently, or not recently now, it's quite about 6 months back, I think it was, Rad had an accident on the road. So it's good that he's getting still getting some good hard training done. And then we're looking over actually onto the lead. Actually, Ross Gurney there seems to have been dropped back a bit. Four signals. So yeah, some of the riders are really pushing on hard now. Leading the charge, we've got some the infantry there, Dan Hibbert. A few other riders that we got there, and that's so the riders themselves. Some of them will be riding. You notice that riding similar kind of jerseys. So we've got the yellow and black of the infantry. That's for the ones that they're rocking with. We've also got the red and white of the signals, like Jim B's doing now. AMS are rocking the kind of the cross red on the white there. We've got two riders that are coming past now. Simon Howell leading there up the front, pushing hard with the infantry. Really showing what they're good for. I mean, yeah, this is definitely a hard course, and they are pushing on pretty strong at the moment. Mike L there, Remy, I believe. Kev Fowler, I mentioned him earlier on for the competition for the points competition, is up in there as well. So yeah, all good so far. Again, we'll quickly switch back over to the C's then. Hopefully you'll see Ad Adey there. Dan Collins, there you go. It really is your time to shine tonight, Dan. Everyone's watching. So yeah, pushing on, really leading the charge. 6.7 watts per kilo, really pushing on. Got to ask yourself though, this is a long climb, so will he be able to maintain that throughout? It will be interesting to see. So yeah, it'll be definitely see if he can maintain that effort throughout. Stevie B back there as well, second and third with Andrew Graff. The Andrew Graff, I believe, is with the Royal Navy. We do have riders that we do invite riders from the RAF and the Navy to take part and then get some Type 2 fun. So yeah, it's good to see them getting involved. Andy Thackeray, and then let's say Ad Adey, who we initially caught there was doing the charge pretty strong once they were coming out of the small bump, but now working their way on. So this is a long old climb. It really does take the sting in the legs going up through the reverse KOM or the epic KOM. You notice there 9.5 kilometers in length of an average of 4%. So yeah, it can really it's going to be a really kind of damaging effort there. So D Collins still leading the way, really has gone strong and hard at the start there. 159 beats per minute, so seems to be in a relatively comfortable zone. Now switching back over to the A's and B's. See there then we've got Tim Robinson at the front with the AMS. But again, there's definitely a bigger group. No one's decided to go early, no one's decided to try and break apart. There seems to be quite a healthy pack still within the A's and B's. Is kind of the complete opposite to what we can see in the C's currently, which I really have strung out at the moment. So yeah, Phillips, Rich Barrett there. Tom Swifter joined the Army Cycling on the Swift, or joined us on doing the Swifting with the Army Cycling. Quite a long time now. It's probably we're talking going back to the COVID days. Rich being a regular on the Swift scene with the Army events and that we take part in, because the Army do put in teams for the community events. So any like this Swift Racing League and all that kind of stuff, ZRL and the time trial stuff, they do actually put in we do put in teams across all different categories and that. I know Rich Barrett is a regular with that. Same with P. Spencer as well. Ross Miller, another one. Matty D as well. Matthew Davis. 2. Would be helpful if I was actually talking and reviewing them while I was talking. It's a problem with two two streams running. So I would say they're Rich P there, Paul Spence, Matthew Davis, Russ Miller, Phil Cox. Where are you, Phil? I did see you, and then I lost you. There you go. We're in this kind of this little chasing pack here. So there's a few riders that have split across. A little group there. And then you've got another small group, and then you've got D. Collins really pushing hard there. So looking actually, going over, just seen some orange numbers there from Mike Goff, 8.4 watts per kilo. He has decided to kick over. So there's this little climb coming up here, but he put in a real good strong effort there just to kind of break apart there. So he's gone now for this solo effort. 8.6 watts per kilo, 6.7, 7 watts per kilo. He's really kind of really going to try and go and solo it now. Mike probably thinking that this is his opportunity to I started because Rich Barrett made me. Yeah, he's I've seen quite a few emails from Rich actually in the past, encouraging riders to get involved in that, which is great. He's a great ambassador for getting people and trying to get people on Swift and stuff like that. So yeah, he definitely has helped the cause for getting riders on for sure. So Mike Goff still pushing 6 watts per kilo. He's already made 10 seconds on that group and that. So you got to ask yourself, can he maintain that? Seeing how Mike Goff has raced through other series, I would say yes, he can. So yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see for sure if he can maintain it. But I have good confidence that Mike can. He's a good climber, Mike. He's probably going to be doing it as well because he's no, I'm not saying he's been of the lighter sort. He will not like you can struggle downhill. But the heavier you are, the faster you are, you go downhill. So and obviously the lighter you are, the less watts you need to, or not the quicker you go uphill, but it's basically it uses kind of pure science to help out and get you where you need to be. So yeah, there's Mike. Just let us have a look behind. So the riders are just coming on the archway there for the A and Bs, and yeah, Mike is still pulling away. 11 seconds. So yeah, getting a second, another second out of there. So yeah, let's check on the C. So we were launching Dan, still bossing it, 41 seconds, still pulling away from Stevie B and Andrew Gaff are now separated in that. And we're looking at D Neville and Adam Adey. And then do we have that group still together? There's still a kind of group of riders. Russ Miller, Paul Spence, Rich Barrett kind of there, and then you just got Phil Cox and Danny Metcalf all along here as well. Royal Signals are really out in force once again. I think this has definitely helped their series. The Royal Signals have done a bit of a recruitment charge and that, and got a lot of people on Swift, which has really helped their cause. They've got a lot of numbers now across all different categories, which has helped. Regards to the core standings, it is actually the top 7 riders across each category. Not each individual category, but throughout the top 7 scorers make up the score of that core competition. Again, that's including your com and your sprint points as well. So yeah, you'll notice there the Phil Brunton there just pushed across over there. So some of these riders will have, and you can see actually by his icon on the screen, he's got a Swift Plays or some kind of device that allows him to kind of control the movement of the bike to a certain point. There's things called Swift Play, or some people might have the Swift Bike as well. You lucky sods. And basically you can actually like position the bike on the road. Just imagine there's lanes. That's the best way. And you can see there the Phil Bronson there took the inside there just to give him probably self a little bit of a breather, and that obviously the shortest route possible around some of these corners. So yeah, and that's probably what Phil was doing there, and that, and yeah, they can basically move lanes. You can imagine that. Now, with that though, it doesn't mean you can just push a rider across and stuff like that. It's not like you can do a bit of elbow stuff and all that kind of stuff you would imagine in real life. If someone else is there, it won't necessarily allow you to move across there. Like you noticed there, it couldn't let him move across until he got onto behind the back wheel of Danny Metcalf there. Hi, Harry, you all right? Good lad. So yeah, looking along there, you can see on the graphics anyway that the riders are really strung out. and there is a lot of space now currently going. It really is it's a case of who went. Did anyone go too hard too early and that, and now are just holding on? Did some people save some batteries and save themselves for a kind of more of a harder, longer effort rather than going really all in at the start there? But it'd be interesting to see how this kind of pans out. That is for sure. Moving over then to the A and B cats, we've just seen there Mike Goff still bossing at the front, still leading the charge. Okay, and then we've still got, though, that pack of other riders that are just sat there waiting. Now, this may work in their favour as long as Mike doesn't get too much of a gap too far. This group effort, let's call it what that could be, group effort of riders could actually work in their favour later on. Swift uses like pack dynamics, it's called. And it will, there is a drafting effect, so people at the front will get a better draft than people, people at the back will get the drafting benefits of people at the front. Now, therefore, if, so these can work together to try and catch Mike back up on the descent and then on the flat part leading up to the finish. So it's not all Mike's yet. He may get to the top first, but he's got to get back down. And also with that, the larger, not the larger the group, but with group size as well, they do travel faster because of that whole kind of draft effect that Swift implements. So they would be traveling faster, and hopefully we'll get to see an example of that as they're going down and that. Okay, but this team then really would need to work together, making sure that they at least keep that gap with Mike Goff within a kind of sensible distance, so that they're not going to have to work even harder on the descent and flat. So this is that will be a one interesting for sure to follow on. Slightly different story though when we're talking to the C categories, like I say, because they're all spread out and all that, it will be a slightly different effort on that descent. And that's if people wanted to catch Dan Collins there, but he is pretty much already kind of 9 kilometers in, already quite comfortable with his lead. Now, it will be interesting to see if he can maintain it, especially up to the radio tower com. But if he can, but it is quite a steep climb up. And the same could be said for the A and B category as well. The A and B categories may also have that same kind of issue where that kicker to the radio com, again, yes, I do say kicker car quite loosely, but that may be something that really does spread this group and pack that we've seen over on the A's and B's. How long are we in though? How far are we in so far though? We're 18 minutes in. It's definitely over. Like Mike Goff there has lost some time a little bit. People are. What's he got? 155 beats per minute though, so he's in a relatively comfortable state, I suppose. I mean, I use the term comfortable quite loosely, but yeah. What we're going to try and do, let's see if I can work my my magic, shall we? And let's see if we can switch over to the D's and C's. So bear with me while I try and work that. The group needs to do a downhill slingshot with heavy riders. It works a treat. No, it does. You're not wrong there, Emma. That is right. That's the heavy riders are normally quite a benefit for the for riders. Right. Okay, here we go. We've jumped onto Emma actually, and she is in chat. So hi, Emma. I'm not doing this only because I know you're there, so I can find you. And we can then follow some riders up and see what it looks like at the front of the pack. So just bear a second with me. This is work. So you got R. Parry, Angela Laycock, Nathan Dyer. So yeah, it's the lead group here already. What are we at here? What distance are they at? 8.9. So yeah, it looks like they've definitely packed the game itself. I'm kind of happy to report that they are solo categories, so that people aren't riding in different categories. I think the only ones that are the exception for that rule is the A and Bs. Actually, the Cs and Ds might be the same as well. Let me just check what I'm talking about, and let's see what I can find. So just give me a moment. Going live. Right, okay. The E category, LH, where's it out? Okay, let's just see where we're at. So let's just switch over to Rise 2. So there we go. I did say Jay Baxter. Bob in there. Craig Whitehouse, Charlotte Glass. Yeah, so yeah, the A and Bs are in one pen on their own. Cs are on their own pen, and then the Ds and Es are in a pen as well, because they're doing it all based on the finish. So because the Ds and Cs are also finishing on the same location, that is why we've got what we've got. So yeah, we're looking at Neil Herbert there, one of the kind of contenders for the top spot within the D category. Sitting in 20th at the moment. Cookie, Norton, Craig Whitehouse, oh no, Andy Whitehouse, Nathan Dyer there, and we mentioned that we've got Angela Laycock, R. Perry. So these riders here, though, they're all going to be just finishing as if it's nothing. But they're going to be finishing at the EpicCom. So roughly looking at the graphics, so they're about halfway up the climb. So that should be probably another maybe 20 minutes or so for some of the riders to get to the finish, maybe even earlier. But that's where we're at the moment in regards to the Ds and Cs. So we're going to move back over to the A and Bs now. So Mike Goff is just going up and down the lumpy bits. And you can see there that we're just going up and down, up and down. Just try and switch the camera angle slightly to help reflect that. Cam. So yeah, up and down, go. So he's managed to pull another 10 seconds on the lead group, or the chasing pack of Dan Herbert and the likes. So yeah, they're about 30 odd seconds from Mike. Still leading the front, but this group is still quite a healthy size. But he's spreading out a bit now. Bear with me, please, team. I'm just trying to switch back over to the other category as well while we're watching them. So it all looks like it's seamless, and I know what I'm doing. So yeah. See there that Cy Richards took the benefit of a bit of a draft there. Or sorry, the air tuck. It's a mechanic that happens when you hit a certain speed on a certain gradient, and it's an opportunity for riders to take a bit of a rest as well if they choose to. You see there that we're kind of at that point now. Right, okay, let's see where Mike is in relation. He is almost at the end now of the EpicCom. Coming in at 25 minutes. He's got one more climb to get on with before it's all downhill. And he's still The other group again have clawed it back, so he was almost 30 seconds. He's now at 23 seconds, so they are yo-yoing themselves a little bit. So definitely, yeah, definitely an opportunity really for this chasing pack still to catch on, and that I think they just need to keep it together, keep working together. Got a few riders that are slowly kind of just drifting off the back there. We've got Rob McGowan, D Hibbert. Okay, they're all slowly just clawing themselves off. You can see there that George Jones and Kev Fowler have got some form of swift plays and have chosen the inside line. The AMS duo of Simon Richards and Tim Robinson now working their way as well and keeping back on. And Rob McGowan has also managed to get back on. It just seems that Cy Howell and Mike Latchin have both been dropped from that group. But this, Mike Goff there pushing some crazy numbers as he's got his way through there. The Epic Com, and most likely, yes, he will get the honours of the jersey as well. So just switching back quickly to the Bs, we've got D Collins there, I mentioned earlier. Okay, he is still quite comfortably in front. If I can find out what time he's, 1 minute 28 there. He really is kind of taking this challenge, this stage in grasp from literally it started. He's still got the Tower Com to go through though, so still is still could go wrong for him. I'm not going to blow the balloon up, mate. It's broken. You can blow, but it's broken, mate. Yeah, nearly. Keep trying. Just moving on to moving on to Mike Goff there. So he's dropped his feather power up. Feather power up is loud, but he's got a 13% climb now. And then we've got the other guys that have just started their temp now as well. So this is going to be interesting to see what can happen here, and if they can claw in onto Mike Goff. Though we're talking 30 seconds currently. It wouldn't be surprised if some of these riders are working together though, and they are trying their best to keep together for this climb. I mean, at the risk of dropping these riders, you know, that I really strongly believe that if they can keep together and then work as a team with the descent, then Mike's Goff victory is not in hand. It still could be. It could be one of these riders from this group. I really do believe that. Now, might be still pulling away at this group, but yeah, it's still very much not decided yet. Rob McGowan there. Come on, mate. You can do this. Keep on their will. Come on, buddy. I mean, I say that I hate the radio com with a passion. So if anyone was telling me right now to go on, you can do this, I'd be like wanting to shoot them, because this is a horrible climb. Really is. The gradient on this 14% or even steeper at some point it is really nasty in there. And you can see Mike Goff is still comfortably still pulling away, but still not enough in my opinion to guarantee this win just yet. Like I said, he's got a descent and a flat section coming up yet, and yeah. So these riders, if they can just keep it together, keep working hard. We've got two riders now that seem to be gone. No. Tim Robinson has now dropped off the back as well, and Rob McGowan. But it doesn't. They could still get back on once it gets on the flat there. But yeah, 169 revs per minute, 167 beats per minute. Some people 185 there from Cy Richards. 100. Some people are really going to be in the red right now. So yeah, so even if they do manage to get over it, is a question whether or not they can actually maintain. They've got enough time to recover, continue the effort. But yeah, look, unfortunately, there, Tim Robinson now is 10 seconds. It really does. As soon as you kind of get that dropped off in this pack, it really does start. That gap starts becoming bigger and bigger. So we've now got 4 riders within that kind of chasing pack to Mike Goff, who seems to be just getting himself now. Oh, not to say just, he's still got a way to go. 1.2 kilometers, but a 12.9% average. I mean, I'm going to kind of hide after this race just so that people don't come looking for me afterwards. That's for sure. Right, let's just quickly move over then to the to watch the rest of the suffering in the other cat. We've got Bill, got Stevie B, just about to hit that that kind of climb there, but it's about 2 minutes away now from D Collins there. Okay, and he is really pushing it hard, going up this climb, and again looking like he's going to be able to pick the win quite comfortably there. What have you been drawing? You had some crayon or something? Can I ask Mason to give your face a wipe? Okay. So yeah, Dan Collins there really pushing that there. Mike Phillips doing a kind of a little bit of a cheeky strategy there. Naughty, naughty. Matty D just coming into that descent now. I got Adam AD. So Matt managed to bring back Adam and D Neville. You got Dan Metcalf actually that was with Phil Cox earlier on. It seems to have now caught on with the Rich Barrett and Paul Spencer group. Got the if we go over to the AZO, we've got the long line of riders here, but they really are working hard here to get up to this climb. And they're almost there. They're almost there. Mike Goff is just kind of giving everyone, showing people again that he's yeah, definitely one of the stronger riders, if not the strongest that we've had on this series on the climbs, that's for sure. There you go. Riders are now dropped their feathers for this last section though. So in about a minute's time, you're going to see these riders hopefully getting through. Less than a minute, they'll be getting through that kind of section now. Moving over to the CISO, Dan Collins there. He's also getting to that kind of last section of the course. Nearly there. Yeah, say nearly there. Dear me. Okay, and then we've got Cy Richards there, second across the line for the the KQOM. He's also actually managed to break a distance. Now that may or may not be a good thing. We will see if he eases off now. Let's the other riders catch on. I mean, with 186 beats per minute, his heart must be in his throat right now. And the rest of the riders as well, okay, are still in a kind of a little bit of a hurt locker there. And Tim Robinson and Rob McGowan now working together. They have dropped back quite significantly, unfortunately, on that climb. But it is, like I said, it is a really nasty climb. And we got ahead. So, right, hang on, just lost our lead. Tim Robinson. Rob McGowan has gone through. Yeah, okay. All right, okay. I know what's doing wrong here. To the first rider. So, are we rocking with Mike Goff? D Hibbert, S Richards. Oh, wrong rider. Where's he gone? It's a problem with this part here because the riders are in different positions on the course and that, but we will find them, don't you worry. Cy Richards. Cy there, currently third. D Hibbert has got past him. I don't know why Cy's decided to drop a feather power up on the descent. I mean, just unfortunately, just missed there where D Collins has managed it across the finish line. Well, it should be coming across the finish line. I think it's actually around the corner here. I did push it beyond the KQOM. So it might be that it's just a little bit further away. Relatively, yep, there you go. Finish line through for Dan Collins. Well done to Dan. Moving on to S. Richards doing the charge for you. There you go, some orange numbers now. So the riders, what they're doing, they're just doing a little micro sprint just to get the part of the speed up, and then settle themselves into the aero tuck. My Mike Goff is just steadily riding quite a fast cadence, 100 reps per minute. And you can see there, D Hibbert has actually managed to bring that gap down, so it was almost a minute when they got to that if not greater by the time that the Dan Hibbert and Mike Goff group managed to get onto these riders. So the fact that they are now at this point where they're closing in, and quite quickly, we're talking here 77 kilometers per hour versus 72, 71. So yeah, there's definitely some speed going on there. Now, if these two, D Hibbert, Cy Richards, get together, 2 seconds, 3 seconds looks quite a big gap. But again, you can see that D Hibbert really has got the speed and is really powering on. 36 now. Has almost made half a minute onto Mike Goff just on the descent alone. So yeah, let's see what Dan can do. He's actually pulled away from, like I say, Cy Richards, which can and cannot be a may or may not be a good thing. Like I said, it means that there's one less rider to work with. We'll see what that looks like. But we're almost at 30 seconds there now, so Dan wants to probably be hitting them pedals now, really working hard just to carry that speed up and over. And then he's going to go back down into that descent as well. "31 seconds. He is clawing back. We're going to have a quick look over at the rest of the race. So Matty Davis, who was 5th, Andrew Graff there, going to be coming through the combiner next. That's for 4th place. And yeah, so it's just a flat piece around. Right, yeah, so Andy Gaff there, sorry there, you can probably hear my kids in the background. They've decided to take playtime into me. So it's Andy anyway, coming through the finish, not at least through the finish line, and thanks as always. Hi Carl, I'm presuming that you've made it through to the Epic Com. Hopefully, sorry I couldn't catch much of the D&E riders today, I was just trying to follow what's going on between those that are getting to the Radio Com. It'll be interesting to see how the results are. We can actually spin over to the results shortly. So yeah, Ad 80, Matt D, it's just getting himself up to the com. Yeah, let's quickly just switch back over to D Hibbert. We're following him with great interest. I think, yeah, Mike now has hit the flats. We got 23, so it's 25 kilometers, 29 kilometers, sorry, to go. So we're talking about 6 kilometers to go. Just give me a second, guys. Right, I'm back here. Okay, so where are we at? Mike Goff on the flats. Got 6 kilometers to go. Danny Hibbert, 25 seconds on the flats. Can he make 25 seconds? Difficult to say. S. Richards, equally, he's still quite a way back. So it could be that Dan's going to make the difference. Sorry, guys. Right, back in. Sorry. So where we are, Cy Richards, D Hibbert. Still, it's just keeping steady now. I think he did the best he could. Right, hang on again. Sorry. Right, guys. Sorry. Where are we? Where were we? Yeah. So Dan Hibbert, they're saying they seem to be now going at the same kind of speed and same spot. So it looks like Mike has got the win. I would have definitely said that had a few more riders. No worries, Rich. A few more riders coming in would have probably have on that descent would have probably helped their chances of bringing that gap into Mike. It does look strongly like Mike is going to pick the win. Sorry about that. World War III was about to kick off. Right. Hopefully, we should be able to. If I go on to this one, boom, wonderful. Right. Okay. Yep. So we can see here anyway that looking from the D categories, we had Tom Everson that won, Rich Parry second, and Jason Lamboy coming in third with Angela Laycock, Adam Al, Nathan Dyer, Jamie Baxter, Jim Carlson, Andrew White, and up to 9th. For some reason, the 11th, there's a gap between 11 and 10. But yeah, so that's where we are with the D's. The E's, Neil H and Mark Smith currently have crossed the lines. And the C's, Dan Collins there with a very impressive win over Mark Phillips, Steve Barham, Andrew Graff, Richard Frack, Matthew Davies, Adam Adey, Dan Metcalf, and Paul Smith. And then, like I say, we are still on the A's and B's. So actually, like we mentioned there, we actually have two competitions going on here. So the fact that we're going to check up on George Jones and Tim Robinson shortly, because they will also be a good indication exactly where we are with this competition and who's doing what. Our riders are riding. So, apologies for that. So yeah, let's get back onto the main screen then, shall we? 400 meters. I don't know, nearly there. Right, so we said Mike Goff. What are we at? 26.6. He is almost at the finish now. Having a very thin lead. A very commanding lead from the start of this race, really. And then Dan Hibbert, 30 seconds. So again, Mike did all the damage at the top. Dan seems to have the measurable room on the flats, but unfortunately for Dan, that is 30 seconds back. So yeah, not ideal, but yeah. I'll look out for George Jones with leading there, and Tim Robinson. So what's the difference between George and Tim? Staying around about a minute there as well. So yeah. So yeah, Mike there just dropping the feather power up. Wrong rider. Where are you, Mike? There you are. Okay, dropping that feather power up for the climb over. Okay, small little. This is a kicker. Hey, Carl, this is a kicker. Just going up and over on the reverse of the S's. And then down we go. He's pretty much home and dry at this point. 2Ks to go roughly until the finish. And that is Mike done for a very impressive finish. Going to cut the last bit just to get down afterwards. Yeah, a fair one, Em. If that's what you fancy doing, I'll tell you what. Even after going after that epic calm, I wouldn't be then going, do you know what? I'm going to treat myself with a radio. But yeah, if that will help you out though. Yeah, you are right though. Going just downhill is always the reward for that. You get the extra XP at least anyway for going downhill, and you can take your legs off the pedals and let gravity do the rest. So yeah, 30 seconds there as well with Dan still behind. Like I said, not really making much of an impression now at this point. So yeah, it looks like we're going to have our winner of this final race, at least anyway, with Mike Goff, and then Dan Hibbert a second, well-deserved second, with Kev Fowler there looking in. He's going to finish there third. So yeah, good stuff all around. So next, so like I said, this will be the conclusion of the winter series. We'll have the results out and finalised hopefully by the weekend. The Army Cycling actually are at the NEC this weekend as well for the Army Cycling. The cycling show at the NEC Birmingham. We'll have a little stand set up with some bikes for Swifting and all that good magic as well. We'll look at trying to put an event in as well, just to try and showcase what we do as a community. But yeah, thank you though to everyone that has been watching throughout, and thank you to everyone that's taken part in all the series and stuff like that. Sadly, I will announce now that sadly this will be my my last series as secretary. I'm going to be standing down after this one, but we will be putting a call out for a future successor for Army Cycling eRacing. But it's been a great pleasure and a joy of mine to run the series and help and organise some really fun and exciting races and that. So yeah. Right, so we got there, Mike. Then just getting into the final now, pushing on the last stages, and I say getting that well deserved. Well done. Hey, speak to Mason, mate. See if Mason can help. Dan Hibbert coming in as well, a commendable second place. Definitely did the damage on the descent, and broke away from Cy Richards and that. We've had now as well though for the third and fourth, we have got Cy Richards, G Jones and Kev Fowler there that must have caught back with Cy at least anyway, and have really gone hard. And there you got there, Cy Richards, he's sprinting there for the third place. Looks like he's got that there nice and secure. But Kev Fowler and G Jones have also decided to pick up the pace there. Kev Fowler has, so Cy Richards went early. Kev has going to overtake and get that third spot there. Well done to Kev Richards. It's great to see riders there pushing right till the very end. And yeah, even if it is for a third spot, it is definitely worth sprinting. And that will be some good healthy points for them as well. So you got Tim Robinson, I believe, was in contention for the B category competition, with George Jones there. So he's just now riding in with Rob McGowan, and yeah, bringing that comfortably home as well for the two of them. Let's see, they go and give it a nice sprint finish and that. Really tricky course, so 49 minutes there, nearly 50 minutes worth of riding. Yeah, and a very, very tricky course. And we've got some riders still actually in the back end that are still working their way through. We'll jump down the line and just check on how all the other riders are doing. But yeah, we'll see what this one finishes or how this one looks like in a moment. Like I said, Rob McGowan, Tim Robinson. Are they going to sprint for the finish, or are they just going to be... No, there you go. Tim Robinson's then gone early as well. Rob McGowan has decided to return in like. This could be quite early, this, and he's kind of... Yeah, Rob McGowan there powering away, and Tim Robinson just easing off the bike, and letting and Rob there giving its finish there. And then we've got Ian Thompson with Mike Latchin there. Drop chain. Oh, unfortunate there, Tim. There's a drop chain there from Tim. And there we go. That's that for some of the other spots. see how else we're looking. So John Mead, Army Triathlon. Just getting round over to the bump on the S's. Ray, I can never get Ray your surname. McGoffey. Yeah, let's say that's what it is. Is it a police station, mate? Well done, buddy. Yep, Jim B. Come around the S's. I don't know. Why don't you go and find it? Got all this to tidy up, Otis, haven't I? All right. Sorry, where were we? John Mead. Just getting around the S's. Cheeky little set of lumps. Can definitely give opportunities to break if riders come and attack. But yeah, looking good for John. Right, while we're looking at John, let's go and find our see what we got for our results. So let's start again from A category. So AZ, like we mentioned there, Mike Goff taking the spoils and first place with Dickie Hibbert and Kev Fowler, first, second, and third. For the B Cats, George Jones won that one. I think we saw between Mike and Ian. I think it looked like Ian had crossed the line first there for that. The C categories, we mentioned there already, Dan Collins, Mark Phillip, and Steve Barham, first, second, and third. The D categories, Tony Everson, Richard Parry, and Jason Lamonboy. E category, Neil H, Mark Smith, and Nick Wood, first, second, and third. Few riders still out there across all the different categories and all that, but I think this is a good opportunity now to wrap things up. Like, again, thank you everyone that's watched the series and taken part in the series throughout all its iterations. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Is it? Hopefully you've enjoyed the what you've done, what you've taken part in, and all that kind of stuff. Well, as always, we'll put an end of series review. So the 24-25 Swift series or eRacing series is now kind of concluded. So we'll be doing a survey to get an opinion on what riders think are what riders would like to see in the future, and we'll make sure we pass that on. Once again, it's been a truly joyous experience of mine to get involved with all this and to bring all the riders in and have some real fun, exciting and challenging races throughout, and hopefully have some Type 2 fun along the way. And hopefully it's made your winter time at least a little bit more enjoyable as well, and still getting on the bike and doing some good fizz. So yeah, that'll be me signing off for today. And hopefully I'll see you all in the future. Have a good night, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.